Hey, this is Raise Radio, the holistic wisdom podcast for awakening women that weaves food and nutrition, traditional wisdom, spiritual expansion, so that you can feel your best, body, mind, and soul. I'm your host, Raina Lutz. Let's dig in. How to cleanse your doors of perception from diet culture. All the time, I see people questioning their own common sense over something that someone told them was the best way to eat or the best diet to follow. As you already know, diets don't work. If you're stressed by food, feeling like something isn't quite right, something is off, it isn't working, but you can't quite put your finger on what that is, I see this all the time. And it comes down to two things. Our thoughts, because we do intuitively know what foods are good for our body, but we've been so clouded throughout our lives. And so that intuition, that wisdom, that knowledge is really buried. It's also our trauma. There's bits and pieces of hurt we've picked up along the way that make us feel that we aren't good enough, aren't worthy, or need distractions from a healthy life. It's complex, but untangleable. I believe that balance is key and comes into play here, because even when we are successfully making changes to our diet and improving our lifestyle, we still have to have balance and have a good time. And I inject that into all work with my clients. You're doing the work, but are we having fun? Without celebration, when we reach certain milestones, there's no point. Sometimes, without celebration, we will clam up and sink further into a pity party, spiraling into our own version of I'm not good enough. That spiral hurts. And here's when the mental cleansing becomes not only ideal, but very necessary. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. For man has closed himself up till he sees all things through narrow chinks of his cavern. William Blake. When it comes to food, we often have big blinders on. When it comes to wellness, we often have big blinders on. When it comes to our healing, we often have blinders on. Our doors of perception are clouded with ideas, beliefs, thoughts, and rules from friends and family about food, nutrition, wellness, and how it should be and look in our life. But these beliefs, ideas, thoughts, and rules are often clouded with our trauma, our ancestral trauma, and advertisers' marketing. Pretty colors and hollow words, fancy packaging and buzzwords. They are clouded with judgments of food and other people's opinions. And when people come to me for wellness sessions, a lot of times I can't get through to them because there's all this stuff in the way. It's often decades of work to unravel. Decades of beliefs, advertising, billboards, magazines, TV, and our friends telling us what to eat and what's healthy, your friends and family constantly telling you what works. It's a lot to unravel because for so long, we haven't trusted our own body, and we've given away our power. When we give away our power, we lose any ability to break on through and make a lasting change. So those blinders, they have to go. They keep us stuck. They keep us believing in things that don't work for us. They keep us believing in thoughts, judgments, and ideas that aren't serving us. They keep us where we're comfortable and safe with what we know. And they prevent us from moving forward. But great minds know that we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking when we created them. You need new thoughts, new systems, and a new way of looking. Start with the basics of whole foods and mindful eating, and go from there. We don't have to go from 0 to 100 with our trauma healing when we're just starting out on our journey. One of my favorite sayings from an amazing client of mine was, "I now think about food differently. Before even changing anything you eat, this is what I want to hear, that some of those doors of perception have begun to be cleansed. So let's do it." Here's how to start cleansing your doors of perception. Begin to see truth. Truth raises your consciousness. First, we have to accept the truth. We have to take a deep look at ourselves, at our wellness, and at our nutrition. In every case, accept where you are right now. Don't just acknowledge the current status and dismiss it, but really look at it and accept it as the truth. Also, accept your feelings about the truth, whether you like them or not. For example, you might think, "I have been a yo-yo dieter for the last 10 years. I'm always trying the latest diet, and it stresses me out to have to consistently make restrictive changes that eventually don't work for me because I just put the weight back on again after. I acknowledge and accept that I have been doing this for many years. I'm not alone in this choice, but I also no longer want to be participating in doing this." So beginning to see your truth is the first way to start cleansing your doors of perception. The second way is to get clear on where are your markers. Where are the moments in your life that made you the kind of eater you are today? What memories, emotions, or traumas shaped your relationship with food? Getting clear on these timeline moments helps you to understand you're not too messed up. You just had some shit happen to you, and you can let it go too. This is why trauma healing is part of my work in food and healing, and it has to be. Number 3, get clear on what you desire for your wellness. When you get focused and clear about what you want, you raise your consciousness. Clarity focuses your mind and gives you the power to think and act intelligently. When your desire is unclear or muddled with years of others' opinions, your personal consciousness is muddled. Your thoughts lack focus and direction, and you merely spin your wheels. For example, you might think, "I am tired of spinning my wheels on every new diet fad that comes out. I would like to focus on real food and a whole foods nutrition for weight loss and my long-term health and wellness instead. My goal would be to have more energy and lose 5 pounds without having to follow a diet." That's a clear desire for our wellness. Another way to cleanse our doors of perception is to become conscious of others' opinions that are clouding our mind. When you want to argue something or step in with your opinion or objections about something wellness related, just become conscious in that moment and become aware. Is this really my feeling, or is this something I've picked up along the way? Know that you have the ability to see food and wellness as a powerful therapy, and that you have the skills to think about where your food comes from and to question it. You are a super intelligent being, and you have the power to look deeper, think harder, and ask more questions. Know that you have the ability to become more conscious about yourself and question yourself, leading to better wellness choices in the long run, especially as you begin to use willpower in its true form. And when you cleanse your doors of perception, you can begin to use willpower in its true form by learning to practice the pause and adopting mindful eating, shifting your relationship with food. If you go to the link in my Spotify bio, you will see the link to go get my guide. Go do this. Know that you can start to see food no longer as the enemy or something to worry about, something to hate, but instead to see food as a potent tool, your friend, and a nourishing choice. And that is where all the magic begins. I'm so honored to have been able to help folks find magic on their food and healing journey in the Okanagan since I started my practice back in 2012. Thank you for listening today, and I can't wait to see how cleansing the doors of perception can help you in your wellness journey. Have fun. Thanks for listening. You can find me online at www.rainadonlutz.com.